All right, JMC 6000 here in the JMC Garage for this week's JMC Garage Talk video. And what we're doing in the garage is I have the Buick in the garage, and we're doing a semi-cold air intake on the Buick. So I had to do a couple things. Let me kind of show you what I did. Let me show you what we took off, and let me show you what we're doing. So originally, this massive air box was originally on the Buick. Let me show you where it was. Put my light on here. We're going to move this stabilizer bar out of the way, and this massive air box sat right here, and there is that hose that connects from the throttle body to this air box. There was a flat air filter. The paper pleat part of it went inside here, and then this was the flat part of it. This air box also had an intake air temperature sensor inside, and it's also not only air box, but it's designed to be a silencer as well. So there's a hole right in here into a cavity, and what this cavity does is helps to silence the incoming rushing in air in the intake that you cannot, well, being a luxury car, they don't want you to hear that. So they designed this air box not only to hold a regular flat, kind of restricted type design air filter, but also it's a silencer as well. Well, what we want to do is kind of open this thing up a little bit, let this 3800 breathe. So we're designing a cold air into, well, a semi-cold air. And the reason why I say that is I'm not going to do a, as far as a closed enclosure in this thing to do a true cold air. But what I am doing is retaining this lower part of the box, because up front here, we have a tube that runs straight into the box. It actually grabs fresh air from behind the headlight and rams it right into here. And then that'll help to offset some of the hot engine air. And of course, it's nice far and away to where I shouldn't have a lot of hot engine air. But regardless of which, this is not a very high performance engine. We're only talking about an engine that only has 9.0 to 1 compression, an all aluminum intake that has coolant going through. So this intake, regardless, gets very, very hot anyway. So, you know, as much as I can, we're going to do what we can to get some more air and more cold air into this Buick 3800. So this air box I'm doing away with, and let me show you what we've got accomplishing and going on here. So this right here is the hose that goes from the air cleaner to the throttle body. What we're going to do is attach this onto the air cleaner, or onto the throttle body itself. It's a regular 1/4 inch. In fact, yeah, let me attach this first. All right. There's no particular way you can attach this hose. It really doesn't matter. As long as it's on there tight. I want to go to my other nut driver. Don't really like this one. All right. So the hose is now on the throttle body. What's nice is what GM did with this 3800 is they actually built a mass airflow sensor into the throttle body itself. The only downside is if this mass airflow sensor goes bad, you got to replace the whole throttle body. Now, I heard there's a way you can actually take out the mass airflow sensor and just replace the mass airflow sensor part itself. It does have safety torques in it. Supposedly you've got to replace the whole throttle body, but I believe there's a way you can just do the mass airflow sensor itself without replacing the whole throttle body. Anyway, we're not there yet, and praise the Lord, because I'm sure that's quite a pricey part. But right now we got this here. The throttle body does have, or the mass airflow sensor does have what they call an air correctional screen in front of it, which helps to correct the airflow going into the mass airflow sensor. So what's going to be attached to that flexible hose is this elbow, and the intake air temperature sensor. I had to drill a hole into this thing and, you know, screw in the intake air temperature sensor, as you can see there. This gets fitted. It's a tight fit. There we go. Just like that. And then we're going to tighten this down. All right, that's nice and tight. It's really not going to go anywhere. All right, next phase. Grab my better nut driver here. We are going to attach this elbow onto this flexible pipe. And it's going to sit in there something like that. In fact, let me tighten it down to where I want it. That's not where I want it. Let me loosen it again. What I'm trying to do is what I want to do for the most part, actually I'm going to leave that tight. What I want to do for the most part is try and, as much as I can, have this air filter sit inside this box to grab as much of the incoming cold air as it possibly can. All right. So something like that is what we're trying to get after. Let me hook up my intake air temperature sensor. All right, and then this bracing, what's nice about it, it's actually going to hold it down in there, which is really cool. We're going to use this bracing right here. So let me get the bolt for that, and we're going to tighten that down. All right. I believe this was a 13. I am correct. It was a 13. Uh-oh. Don't like the way that feels. Let's loosen up. Oh. Thank you, GM, for giving me a different size from this bolt to this bolt. Like, seriously, why? Two different sizes. I guess it wouldn't be a GM vehicle without two different sizes. And it's even bigger than that. Well, isn't that amazing? All right, time to bust out the big stuff. It's probably 15, which I don't have in my 1/4 inch. So I am going to add that to 15. It's got my 3/8. All right. Now, I should be able to tighten it down. It would help if I didn't have that in the way. I may have stripped it, but that's fine. Oh, it's going to go in there. Now it's going in. There we go. Look at that. Yes. And then this sucker is going to be tightened down. And now it's not going anywhere. All right. So there we go. Our makeshift cold air intake for the Buick. Does it look pretty? Kind of. But it's going to grab a lot of its cold air from the behind the headlight. It's going to force it into this box. And what's nice about this filter is it's open down here, so it can grab a lot of its cold air from there. Is it totally enclosed? No. Is it going to grab some warm air from the engine? Yes. But there again, there's coolant that flows into this intake this intake by itself gets super duper hot. I would say it gets about as hot as the engine is. So if the engine's running at 200 degrees, that intake's probably running at 200 degrees. I mean, this will help to maybe keep it cool just a little bit, but there again, this wasn't the best design, but it's a simple design. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fire it up, and then we're going to go out on the road and see how it sounds 0 to 60. All right, we're back in the car. We're going to do a 0 to 60 impromptu. All right, whenever you're ready, Josiah. We got the gauges up. Just stomping on it. All right. We'll turn around up here and we'll do one coming back. And yeah, cold air intake on the Buick. You notice any difference?
Yeah, it has more like a deep growling feel.
How does it feel performance-wise?
It feels good. It feels good. Good.
I would say right before the stop sign, you can actually turn in and do a turnaround, like right in here.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. Do some light off-roading. Don't hit the mound. Oh, snap. Alright, I'm in for a wild ride in this thing.
We'll just wait for them.
Yeah. Yep. Alright, right at the speed limit sign, I would say stop. And this way, once you put your foot on one pedal and then push on the gas just a little bit to load it up, and then just stomp on it and let go of the brake. There we go. Strong shift. Not bad. Alright, 0 to 60 impromptu. Hear what the cold air intake sounds like on the Buick, combined with the exhaust. Alright. Questions, comments, go ahead and put that in the comment section. This is another JMC Garage Talk video, how to do a cheap cold air intake. I think with everything, you're probably looking at about, I don't know, I would say close to 50 bucks between the elbow and the air filter. That's about it. Awesome. You guys be blessed. I wonder if they like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and let me know if you have any questions or comments or anything like that. And I'm sure to get those answered. You guys be blessed. We'll catch you on the next one.